Good evening and welcome to Ukraine Brief. I'm Paweł Trzaskowski. Today marks 1,463 days of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Here's the latest news. Ukrainian civilians continue to bear the brunt of Russian attacks. The Kremlin's overnight bombardment of Ukraine has left at least 5 people dead and many others wounded. In the Zaporizhia region, 4 people were killed and another 2 wounded following overnight Russian strikes that left residential buildings smoldering with craters. The severity of the attacks trapped victims under the rubble, with firefighters later finding and recovering the bodies of the deceased. A child was also wounded. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, Russian artillery and drone strikes wounded an elderly man and destroyed multiple apartment blocks. Russia also targeted Ukraine's Kherson, Donetsk and Sumy regions, killing another person and wounding 15 more. Additionally, Ukraine's national oil and gas company Naftogaz reported this afternoon that its facilities in the Kharkiv and Chernihiv regions were attacked 2 days in a row. President Zelenskyy responded today to Kremlin accusations that Ukraine is attempting to conceal nuclear weapons, saying that Russia uses such allegations as a threat towards Kyiv.
Usually, when Russia fails to win on the battlefield, they start looking for nuclear weapons on Ukrainian territory. Unfortunately, there are no nuclear weapons in Ukraine. You all know the circumstances when these weapons once inhabited Ukraine and when they disappeared.
A Ukrainian team of negotiators will meet with their US counterparts tomorrow in Geneva for bilateral peace talks that will touch on plans for Ukraine's economic recovery. President Zelenskyy said that Ukraine's chief negotiator, Rustem Umerov, will head tomorrow's planned meeting. US Special Envoy Witkoff also confirmed today that he would be present at tomorrow's talks together with Jared Kushner. Following the meeting, the Ukrainian negotiators are expected to meet with the US Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, to discuss a so-called prosperity package for Ukraine. Zelenskyy also said today that trilateral talks with Russia and the United States are likely to be held in early March. The United States has warned Ukraine that strikes on Russian port infrastructure in the Black Sea affects American investments. The Ukrainian ambassador to the United States, Olha Stefanishyna, said yesterday that the US State Department passed her a formal diplomatic notice chastising Ukraine for the November 29th strike against the Russian Black Sea port of Novorossiysk. The attack damaged a marine terminal belonging to the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, of which the American oil company Chevron is a major shareholder. While Ukraine has struck the port before, Kyiv never claimed responsibility for the attack on November 29th. Ambassador Stefanishyna assured that the United States did not instruct Ukraine to completely stop attacks against Russian energy infrastructures. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán accused Ukraine today of planning to disrupt Hungary's energy systems. Orbán said Hungarian troops will defend critical infrastructure in light of his accusation of a planned Ukrainian disruption. This move is yet another response from Budapest, who's outraged over the Druzhba oil pipeline previously damaged by Russian strikes. The European Commission has asked Ukraine to accelerate repairs on the pipeline to ease tensions with Hungary. President Zelenskyy said yesterday that Ukraine cannot commit to a clear timeline for repairs, citing security concerns on the ground. Speaking today at TVP World in Warsaw, Keir Giles, a Russia expert from Chatham House, said that despite promises to end the war in 2025, neither Ukraine's allies nor Russia's backers have decisively acted to end the war by choice. Giles added that these global powers instead act, calculating their own advantage.
So we're still in a situation where neither coalition, neither the one backing Ukraine nor the one backing Russia, has decided to intervene decisively to bring the war to an end, and so it continues. We could have seen a much earlier intervention by Western powers supporting Ukraine, to give Ukraine the support that was unconditional, not constrained, not holding back on what Ukraine was allowed to do with the weapon systems that were supplied by its Western backers when it was in a position of advantage with relation to Russia. We could also see, for example, Russia's backers deciding that they want the war to come to an end, possibly on their terms. The leverage that China has over Russia at the moment is something which they could, if they wished to, use to bring about a different outcome. But of course, it's in China's interests to see their major global competitors weakening each other, and Russia, of course, slowly destroying itself, so eventually it will fall into China's hands.
That's all from Ukraine Brief. Please stay with us for more updates.